We're likewise winning in the Islamic Republic of Iran, and we're ensuring that they will never, ever be able to do to us what they've done to so many. This is with this skirmish we have with the Islamic Republic of Iran, and I call it that because, let me tell you, they're getting hit so hard, and they want to make a deal.
So that from Marietta, Georgia, just yesterday with the president stop here. This is CENTCOM video that was released just yesterday about multiple targets on the ground in Iran. We now know for 12 straight nights now that targets have been hit throughout the country, primarily on the western side of Iran. Take you over here to the map. Remember, Strait of Hormuz is something we're very focused on. And as we have shown you day after day now, many hits right now on maritime assets and perhaps drones, missile locations that could fire on these vessels traveling here in the Persian Gulf. What I note here are 3 hits around the area of Kuwait and Iraq. Earlier today, the Kuwaitis said some drone from somewhere, be Iraqi-backed Shia or the Iranian military, fired drones at the border crossing between Kuwait and Iraq. So we'll see where that goes. Also of note, this looks to be around the town of Tabriz. That's 325 miles northwest of Tehran. That has been somewhat a frequent target over the past week. Come back here now. I'll clear this off here and show you Strait of Hormuz. That's a choke point, 20 miles wide at its nearest point. But you've also got over here the Suez Canal and the Red Sea, because there's activity that's fired up right there, and we'll go to that location now. That area in red is what the Houthis control. It's about 100 miles on the sea itself. It's a larger area, but on the sea itself, it's about 100 miles long. We think upwards of 7 vessels came in this area and turned tail, and likewise here in the Red Sea after they weren't quite sure that they could make a crossing after the Houthis have now threatened these vessels. So we're watching that. We think 7 in total so far have turned around. Republican Senator out of Florida, Rick Scott, member of the Senate Foreign Relations Committee and Senate Armed Services Committee. Senator, hello to you. What can you share with us and our viewers that might be some good news right now about this conflict? Do you believe the American forces are making progress?
Absolutely. First off, let's make a decision. I think the right thing here, the way to think about this is American freedom and liberty is important enough to fight for, and that's what this is about. Do we want to continue to allow Americans to be killed by the Iranian regime or not? And so this president has said enough's enough. And we've got the strongest military in the world. They will come to the table. I don't know how many days it's going to take for them to come to the table, but they will come to the table because no one can fight with our military long. So my heart goes out to the people of Iran, what they're going through, but the Iranian regime is despicable, and they'll continue to kill Americans as long as they have the ability to do it. This president has said no nuclear weapons, no ability to continue to kill Americans, no appeasement. So he's doing the right thing.
Marco Rubio this morning in the Philippines. Listen.
Iran is begging us. Okay, both directly and indirectly. Let's do a deal. Let's talk. Let's talk. Iran is begging every day. The problem with Iran is every time they make a deal, the people that are in charge there, they either break it or they want to change it. So it looks like they're not ready to make a deal. So they're going to continue to pay a price.
Okay, we'll watch as that goes. The Iranian foreign minister said this: "Our defense doctrine's clear, eye for an eye. Any aggression against Iran, including our infrastructure, will compel a powerful and decisive response. Those who contribute to such aggression, whatever the kind of support, will also be considered as legitimate targets." That's not a threat just against American forces. That's a threat against Gulf neighbors in the region where the U.S. military has positions.
Well, I mean, this has got to stop. I mean, this is, they've been targeting Americans, they've been targeting our bases, they've been targeting our allies. They've supported Hamas and the Houthis and Hezbollah to continue to disable. So this has got to stop, and the only way it's going to stop is by force. And I agree with Marco Rubio. I mean, these guys, they might say they want to talk. They're a bunch of liars. So they need to drop their weapons. They need to, they're good. And I believe there's going to have to be a regime change. I don't see how this is going to get done if the same people are in charge. They've lied to us for 47 years. Why would we believe a word they say now?
So based on that answer, the surge of forces into that area that's been reported this week is going to lead to an escalation of the conflict.
Well, first off, this president doesn't want to put boots on the ground, and I don't think we're going to have to put boots on the ground. But what he's going to say, what he's saying is, enough's enough. We put up with 47 years of appeasement, where they've been killing Americans and killing our allies and disabling the area, and that's going to stop. And the only way it stops is through U.S. military force. So, I mean, I'm very optimistic that this is going to work out, but how much longer that's going to last, I don't know. My heart goes out to the families that lost their loved ones. I served in the military. I knew that what the risks were, but no one probably thought that they would ever die in this conflict. And my heart goes out to those families.
No doubt. That was quite the scene yesterday. Chuck Schumer on war powers. Roll it. Watch here.
This week, Senate Democrats will force another vote on our war powers resolution to end this unauthorized war and get our troops out of harm's way. Every senator will have to make a choice. You cannot claim to support the troops while leaving them trapped in a war with no mission and no end. You cannot call it a victory while the battlefield keeps expanding. And you cannot hide the wounded, and call it peace.
Heavy words there, reading on the floor of the Senate. You're reading.
I mean, look, he's an appeaser. I mean, this is the same people that during the Second World War always complained about, what the American military was doing, or during the Civil War, they complained about what Lincoln was doing. Chuck Schumer doesn't believe in American strength. I'm very disappointed that what the Democrats are doing, they're just wasting time. But look, I am going to continue to support our troops. I'm going to continue to support this president who says enough is enough. American freedom and democracy is worth fighting for.
Okay. Senator, thank you. Rick Scott, come on back if it goes to a new level. We're watching it carefully. Be sure to like and subscribe for all the Fox News latest on YouTube and catch full shows streaming now on Fox One.